Hi, welcome to our channel. We're the Simple Teachers.
Did you know, I'm kind of embarrassed to say, but my first year teaching on Saturdays, I would spend literally hours at the school or my house, like hours. We're talking 4, 5, 6 hours trying to plan for the next week just in reading instruction. But we're going to share a tool to you today that when I started using, I can now get my plans done for reading instruction, the reading components within 2 hours. I can, and it's awesome.
Yay. So let's show them how to save some time.
We have this free for you. It is our weekly planning template. It goes to the reading components for grades K through 5. In kindergarten, It's going to be a little different, K and 1. So you cover a lot more components, but your lessons are also a lot shorter.
Yes.
So you can get them in at the same amount of time.
Yeah.
You're going to go through all of the reading components, starting with alphabet knowledge, phonetic awareness, concepts of print, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, comprehension, and writing.
Yeah.
Whereas with second grade on to fifth grade, your component is smaller.
Yeah.
But your lessons are a little longer in some areas. So you would teach phonics, fluency, vocabulary, comprehension, and writing every day. And in your phonics lesson, especially for grade 2, you're still hitting phonemic awareness.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do we start, Angie?
Well, you get your core reading program and you're going to use that as your #1 resource. It has texts for all the students to have access to, so you're going to use those.
Yeah.
They're a great resource. But that being said, anyone who knows me, I'm not a lover of a program, but I wouldn't teach without one. So you're going to use that resource and you're going to use it wisely. You're going to open it up and you're going to get your components and you're going to say, what does this have for me to use?
Yeah.
You're going to just pull it apart. It has all of these things for phonics, all of these things for fluency, all of these things for comprehension, and you're just going to write those things down.
I start just jotting them down. I read them. If I like it, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. If I don't, I'll maybe put it out to the side.
Yeah.
If I really don't like it, I write it down and I cross it out and I say, I do not like. So then the next year I remember, because you will read tons of text for the year. You can't remember everything. So if you make a little note for the next year, it saves me time the next year.
Oh, yeah.
So
you get those resources jotted in there. Even you put them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right in order.
I pace them out. Now, this isn't what like my daily planner looks like, but this, once I get my first year done, this is like gold to me. Here are my plans for the year, the entire year. Now, of course, I'm going to make changes for classes. All classes aren't the same. My next year's class might need a little bit of changes, but this gives me a really good baseline to use for this grade level.
And then once you have all these resources, you're going to want your objectives.
Yep.
So we have your objectives kind of written there.
Yeah, so I kind of start with that as well. Look at your resources. What's your focus or your objective for the week? I follow your reading program or whatever scope and sequence you're given. So phonics for this week, I was given short A and I. So that's the type of text I'm looking for. For fluency, I had an objective of intonation. That's the text I'm looking for. And it goes on and on with each component.
Yeah. You also want to think about what assessment you'll be using. So a lot of the programs have a weekly assessment. Are you going to be giving that? Does your team decide that you're going to give that or not? If so, you need to make sure you align with that assessment. If not, what assessment will you use? Yeah.
So let me show you. I prefer to use the notes because I know what I'm assessing. I can just make a note of it. And I know my instructional routines. I can just make a quick note. However, if you don't know those things yet, you might want this form. This form is the same with the reading components and your objective and the daily plan, but it breaks out assessments and materials. You might need to break that out. It also breaks out your procedures and instructional routines. Because if you're maybe a first year in that grade level or first year or even not a first year. If you want to really fine tune those things, write them down.
Yeah, maybe you're not quite used to a type of interaction that you're doing with a certain component. You want to really focus in on that, or a way that you're having the kids read aloud together, or buddy read, or some sort of routine that you're not quite sure or well practiced. You're going to want to make notes. I notice you have one written here on yours.
For my vocabulary, see, and I'm just using the notes one, but I made a little note. It says, teach introduction routine, and I just leave myself little notes. Word, context, define, example, apply. I even say teach, see the teacher manual, and I put the page number. So I'm just writing little notes for myself. I'm remembering procedures and assessments, and I just make notes for myself. So we're all different. We plan a little differently.
Yeah. So once you have kind of those pieces pulled out of your best resource, your core reading program, then you may have to go over to a more extensive planning, especially comprehension lessons, and actually really write out a comprehension lesson, or maybe your phonics lessons, maybe you need to write those out a little bit because they don't have those included in some
absolutely
grades.
These aren't the lessons. This is like your outline. These are the bones of your week.
Yes.
I store my phonics lesson with the text. I store my comprehension lesson, not with the text always. Sometimes with the text it's filed away, but I just store it in my weekly files. So the lesson, this is not the lesson. This is my outline for the week of what I'll be teaching and covering.
But to get this done, you can get that done pretty quickly, and then you can go into your planning of your lessons. And I find, and maybe you do too, and we'll probably show some actual planning in some future videos, but I find if I start with comprehension, my other lessons kind of flow out of those a little bit.
Same as me, except I do exclude phonics from that in second grade. But if you're third, fourth, fifth, your phonics lessons are probably going to be multisyllabic word reading from your comprehension. So in second grade, I break off phonics from the rest, but absolutely. Because my vocabulary lessons are to help us with our comprehension. So that's directly tied.
And fluency. Writing. I mean, all of that really links to those. So we'll show some planning of lessons eventually, but this is you keep saying gold. I agree, gold. And something that you can absolutely use year after year to save you some time.
And something too, like with my fluency lessons, this is what's cool about fluency is I can either use my fluency objective intonation with my phonics text, or I can use my fluency text with my comprehension text. So like I can dip in each area, and depending on my class need, I might need to do a fluency lesson with phonics, and I might also get to do a fluency lesson with comprehension, or I just do it with comprehension. So that's what's cool. So that's why these notes are awesome. Like, hey, this text might be something to consider, things like that.
And it gives you a really great overview of the core reading program all in one place. And doing it by components ensures that you teach every component every day.
It's a get in that habit. It's great. We need to be doing that.
Every component every day.
I'll put a link to our phonics videos. We have a couple videos about how to plan phonics where we show you how we actually did this planning. So I'll put some links to other videos for planning purposes. But we hope this helps. This is a freebie. Go download it. It will help and save you time, not only this year, but the years to come. That first year in a grade level, man, is tough, right? You are, everything's new. So if you get something like this planned out, you can just take this out of your binder and use it the next year and use it the next year. As long as you teach that grade, you can use it. And of course, make accommodations for the class you have that year. But it is a time saver.
Yay.
So I'm no more planning hours and hours and hours on the weekend. I sure enjoy my weekend time now that I have this resource.
Gotta work hard, you gotta play hard.
Yeah, that's true.
We want to have more playtime.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you download this resource, go through our description and click the links there. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Share this video with your teacher friends. Share the link to our free resource, and we will see you in the next video. Simply teach.